Alright guys, coming at you once again live from the utility closet. Here it is, Laughing Gnome Productions. I am your host, Schuster the Laughing Mage, and as I promised in one of my previous video segments, we're going to talk a little bit today about the current beard meta in World of Warcraft Classic. So we mentioned in the last video that there are those three different specs. We had the full beard, the goatee, and the stash spec. And we discussed a couple of add-ons in that video. So just for your viewing pleasure today, I am going to go ahead and expound a bit on the add-on I talked about in the last stream, and that is, of course, the Pomade addon. So as promised, we're going to drill into that today, drill down a bit on the Pomade addon and why it's important in World of Warcraft. So if you may have noticed, I'm having a little bit of trouble with CC with my full beard. And there's a bit of scrag going on here, and I'm having some difficult time controlling the direction of my pulls. So that's why we're looking at doing the Pomade addon today. And to kind of talk a little bit about the specific add-on itself, going back in some history here, this is probably somewhere around 10 years ago when I was, actually would have been before this, it would have been before I was married, so almost 16, 17 years ago, when I was still desperate and lonely. I had a subscription to GQ magazine, and one of the things that they talked about in the article I was reading were the different various kinds of pomade, and they were ranking them based on the quality and the price. And so I did a little bit of shopping, went to my local drugstore retailer, and looked and investigated into buying a can of pomade for my own personal use. And the one that I was specifically looking for was called Murray's Superior Hairdressing Pomade. So when I went into the retailer, I went down the hair care products aisle, and unfortunately I couldn't find a can of Murray's. So I went and asked one of the store clerks where I could find the Murray's, and they took me to the ethnic hair care products section. So I was a little bit confused, but I was definitely dedicated to the idea that I was going to buy the Murray's. And when I picked up the can, and I'm going to show this to you in the stream here, maybe you guys can see the same thing that I did, but let's examine this for a second. Let's see if you guys can see that in the stream there. Yeah, I was a little taken aback at first, and I debated with myself. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so hopefully you see what I'm seeing too, is there is a very obviously black couple on the front of the can, and I don't know if the coloration shows up on your screen, but almost looks like they're in whiteface. So at any rate, I will say I am not sponsored by Murray's. I think that this is an excellent product, and the artwork aside, I think that it's definitely worthwhile trying if you're looking for a good pomade at a good price. Murray's is definitely the way to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to drill down on this. Now, of course, anytime that you're installing a new add-on, you're going to have to go into the interface and set it up properly to begin with. And some of you may not be familiar with the Pomade add-on, so we're going to talk about how that works. So first, we're going to go ahead, we're going to open the interface for the add-on. And then, so once you get into the interface, you're going to notice that you're going to have to apply a few different things, a few different settings. One of them in this case is going to be heat. So in order to generate a little bit of heat here, what we're going to do is we're going to scoop out a little bit of this stuff, and we're going to put it in the palm of our hand. You rub it around a bit, and you get that. You don't want to give it a good rub until you can feel the friction in your hand, kind of break down the oils in it. And then, so specifically, this particular add-on is for CC, and this is going to help you control the directionality of your pulls. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that in. We're just going to spread it in. This is good for the setup there. You just make sure you give it good coverage. You know, when you're out in world and you're looking at doing your pulls and you're setting them up. You know, you want to make sure things all go in the right direction. You don't want things running all over the place and running into the raid or running into your group. So it's real important that you get this right. So we're going to go ahead and make sure we work that in real good there. Take a little bit more. Just rub that in. A little bit more friction going here. And this is all just important and part of the setup. You know, you just got to make sure that your interface is set up correctly. So there we go. Get that in there, work that in really good. Now, as with anything else, even after you set up the software, make that your rolls are good to go. So we brush peripheral. We're going to use that. Set that is, of course, brush. So you go through, pick out some of the cube-looking hairs from the brush. Make sure that you start with it. If you have any trouble with your macros, maybe drop me a comment and I can post some of the macros that I use. But here's our peripheral. So we're going to use this, and again, pulling everything in the right direction. It's extremely important. Setting up your pulls properly. Just making sure you've got everything good and under control. Just work that in. That's good. That's good. I mean, look at this. You get things are starting to fall into line here. I don't know if you guys can see that in the stream. Just make sure that we got that stash all going in the right direction here. I mean, that's just about it. It's just really, really important to make sure that when you're going out in the open world, or you're out raiding, you got to be reliable, man. You got to have it all under control. So that's looking pretty good there. Yeah. Just work that in nice and good. All right. Hey, we're looking good, guys. That's about it for this video segment. I just wanted to make sure that we touch base for a minute and we discuss those really important elements in our gameplay. Because if your add-ons aren't working correctly, or you don't do the setup right in the beginning, it just makes a mess of things. So that's just really the takeaway for me today is just to make sure that when you're out there, you're having fun, that you're doing things in the right way, and you're considering all of your options. And that's pretty good. So I appreciate your feedback. If you have another different add-on that you'd like to try, or you'd like me to talk about here on the stream, and drop me a line in the comments. Hit me up on YouTube. Give me a thumbs up. Drop a subscribe. And I appreciate all you guys for hanging out with me today. All right, we're gonna get back to some World of Warcraft, and I'm gonna end the stream for today.